Yo, so you are going to be able to sell millions of dollars worth of your mentorship program using one of these three funnels, which I'm about to break down, and they are straight up copy and paste funnels. So I still see so many online coaches out there, and they straight up just don't know what funnel to use, right? They either see a completely different type of coach use a certain type of funnel and just decide to run with that, hoping that will work, or they overcomplicate their funnel and make it way too long, have too many touch points, or they simply have no funnel, or they have like a link tree in their bio or something, which is just straight up leaving money on the table. So by the end of this video, I can guarantee that you'll know exactly what funnel to use specific to your situation, the pros and cons of the three most effective and popular coaching funnels of all time, and how you can also scale your coaching business like crazy in the coming months. I'm not going to waste too much time with this. I'm just going to get straight into this breakdown. So the first funnel and um, an extremely popular funnel is a squeeze page. So all the squeeze page is a fake VSL page. So you get taken to a very simple landing page. There's going to be a VSL. However, if you want to watch this VSL, you have to enter your name, email, and phone number. Usually, it can just be your name and your email. It can just be your phone number. But usually, it will just be three of these, right? They're very, very simple. Not too much friction. So this is then the landing page owner creating a contact, right? So they'll basically get your contact details. As soon as you filled out your details, you can then watch the VSL and it is now unlocked. So a great example of somebody who has run this funnel in the past, he doesn't do it anymore, but he used to, is Brett Scales. So as you can see, the exact strategy I used from being a fat Fortnite kid to making over six figures per month with freelance brand scaling. And if you want to watch the video, it says unlock the mini course, and you have to basically fill out your contact details and then you unlock the video plus a bunch of testimonials. All right. Now, if you want to use this funnel, you need to know exactly what your situation is and like what type of situation you have to be in and want to use it. So you want to use it if the traffic that you have coming in is relatively cold and you want to warm some prospects up, or you want to run a retargeting campaign in the near future to basically get the people who have clicked off the funnel slash landing page to book a call later on, or you want a ton of leads and their contact details as well. So it's just like you get a bunch of leads and you get their contact details just in case you want to call them, set them over the phone, nurture them through email marketing or whatever it may be. Or your VSL is actually informative and not selling. Okay, because if you want to run this type of funnel, you can't just have a VSL that's just a regular Joe Schmo VSL. Okay, it has to be a VSL that is actually valuable. So, for example, a free training type of VSL, or anything like that, right? Just like sort of free training, basically just incentivizing the viewer to actually watch it, okay? Because that's what's going to give you the most leads, actually creating filling in their contact details and watching it. So the cons of this type of VSL or the situation which you should not be using this type of landing page, sorry, is if so don't want your VSL views to drop off. Obviously, if you're using this, then the views are just inevitably going to drop off, right? Not as many people are going to see it. There's also going to be more friction involved. So if maybe earlier steps of your funnel and whatnot have a ton of friction, you may not want to go with this. The lead quality is also lowered because a ton of people who are going to be opting into this are just looking for something free, right? A bunch of people, you're going to call them up or email them. They're just not going to be interested whatsoever because they're just looking for this free resource from this creator. They don't really care about what it is they have to sell. And also more back end work is required. You're obviously going to have to make hires if you want to then do a sales team to then call the leads who opt in for this landing page, um, and overall just more automations, more moving pieces in order to actually set this up. This is definitely a solid one if you have cold traffic, you want to warm prospects up, and overall if you just want to retarget the people that opt in, maybe the people that click off, you want to just call them up or whatnot. This is a very very good one to go with. So yeah, that's that for the squeeze page. So next is the webinar funnel. Okay, so this is a pretty simple one. I'm sure we've all seen them before. So it's going to be some type of landing page opt-in, right? So usually like something like this. It's going to be like a free live training, free course on like how to do this, right? And you potentially watch a video, maybe not, it really depends. And then you basically go ahead and enter your details and schedule the time for the webinar, right? You just join the webinar. Then on a set date, there's going to be a live webinar happening. So it's basically going to be the creator slash the coach presenting something to the audience, usually of value. It usually lasts between 1 to 2 hours, and then you have a bunch of people in the audience basically just watching it and eventually getting sold, right? Then after the webinar, at the end of it, sorry, the creator is usually going to pitch something, right? It's usually going to be something that's mid or high ticket. And the reason why this is so effective, sorry, is because they can basically just sell one to many, right? So the creator just pitches one time that, the people in this webinar have already been nurtured a ton. A bunch of people are already going to know they're going to get sold at the end. And now they're just ready to buy, right? And webinar funnels also run especially well because, for example, at this stage when the creator slash the coach is pitching, he can then say like, or they can then say like, or you get 50% discount, or not 50%, like that's a bit high, but you guys get what I mean, right? You get like a discount or something, or you get some type of like incentive to make you purchase on the spot, right? So this is a great way to collect a bunch of cash and just sell to many different people. Now, yeah, this is sort of what it looks like, just a bunch of people in a big call. Now, when you should do this is when the core audience, so the people who you know are probably going to join the webinar, right? The percentage of your audience, which can be most likely to join it, already somewhat warm, right? So they already know like what it is you're selling. Maybe you tried webinars before, you've had a high opt-in rate, so just running it back. All these different reasons, right? And just have a pretty warm audience, not a cold one. Or if you're selling a high ticket, webinars run great if you're selling a high ticket. Obviously, if you're selling low ticket or mid ticket, you don't really need a webinar. I mean, low ticket, obviously not whatsoever. Like, I mean, low ticket, you don't really need one at all. Mid ticket, maybe, and a high ticket, you definitely like can be, especially if the audience. And also, if you want to create urgency and FOMO as well. Now, the cons of going with a webinar funnel is that they can just straight up flop, right? You can get to the end of the webinar, just people aren't going to buy for whatever reason. Like, there's a ton of different factors that may come into play. Um, People may just not opt in, people may not show up. There's so many different things, right? Because it's just a free live training. And your audience has to be pretty warm in order for you to actually basically hit your KPIs and have a high show up rate. It's also time and energy heavy, obviously, especially if you have a webinar to the future. You may get like anxious. It's going to take up time, a lot of time with teams and whatnot, making sure everything's fine. And it's going to take up your energy as well because it's a live lesson that you have to deliver. Also, you have to consider no shows. People may again just not show up. It could even flop. You have to just always keep that in mind. And then there's also a lot of moving pieces and stuff that can just go left, right? Like, for example, you can have like an email blast or SMS blast not work right before the webinar, right? And that's just gonna like tank the show up rate. Or you can have like a payment processor just like not work anymore. Like there's so many different things that can happen when it comes to webinar because obviously it's live, right? But if you have if you have a warm audience and you just really want to create some urgency for your audience and really just see where your audience is at, if people are actually going to opt into something, like where your audience is, how many people are going to opt into this thing, this free training, free webinar, whatever you want to call it, it's still a solid one to go with. So yeah, that's definitely a great one. Extremely popular. We've all seen webinars before from people that sell info. So the final one, and probably the most basic, is the VSL funnel, right? So it's super simple. It's a literally a landing page, straight up VSL, no squeeze page or anything like that. Literally just a single VSL, and then boom, you watch the video, and then you go to some type of application. So it's usually gonna be a type form. You may all get asked a couple of questions, and then you can go ahead and book a call. Or if you're not able to book a call, maybe you'll get hit with a downsell, or you just get straight up told to like not book a call, or you don't even have a type form. It just goes straight to Calendly in certain situations, right? Like it can depend. This is a very, very popular and is probably the most basic type of funnel in this whole video that we're breaking down, right? So somebody who runs a VSL funnel is Charlie Morgan. So as you can see, discover the growth engine that scales coach and agencies to 100K a month within 90 days. And it's just a simple VSL, 7 minutes long. And then you can go ahead and just book a Calendly. Like it's straight up that simple. Now, you should do this if A, your VSL is short, or if you're retargeting warm traffic who already know who you are, already may know you, like you, trust you, or your Instagram and YouTube content is already pre-selling. So for example, if you maybe post, you do like a YouTube funnel, so you have just a bunch of YouTube videos, which are already very, very informative and people are going to spend a lot of time with you on YouTube. You don't really have to have a crazy long VSL. You don't really have to have anything crazy. You could even just have a Calendly link in certain cases. Like you don't even have to have a VSL, right? So yeah, if your content is pre-selling, you don't really have to have a crazy VSL. You don't really have to have anything crazy. It's just this would work. Sorry. Or you want to have just more high quality leads. Obviously, people who are going to be watching this video, it's not really any like crazy incentive. It's straight up just a VSL, right? And straight up just a Calendly. So obviously, you're going to get high quality leads. Or if your brand is just more transparent, right? Maybe on your Instagram reels or your Instagram stories or your YouTube videos, whatever it may be, you tell people the pricing of your coaching, right? You just super like it really depends on like your transparency and how authentic you are with your audience in where you can like run something like this and it does well, right? Now the cons of this is that there's not really any lead capture involved. Obviously, if people watch this video and then they decide to just click off, they're gone, right? Like they may be following you, but at the end of the day, you don't have their details, so you can't really do anything, right? So there's going to be someone else in the audience. It's also very, very dependent on like what type of traffic you have for this to work. Again, like I said, if you have like a predominantly YouTube audience, for example, and in your content you're very, very authentic, very, very raw, you really don't have to like have anything too crazy. You can just go with this. It's just a VSL and an application or Calendly. Like that's all you need. If you're just very, very like it just really depends on your audience, right? If you're somebody who's maybe more secretive or just maybe a regular coach, right? Like you're not really too authentic, then this may not work as well for you. And then there may also be a lower perceived value, right? Because obviously, with this funnel right here, for example, which is going to be a squeeze page where the video is usually going to be something which is like a free training, or this is going to be another free training because obviously it's a webinar. This one is straight up a VSL, right? So um, it's just going to be a lower perceived value there. That's another con of it. But overall, it can work well. It really depends on your audience, but for most people, it works well, right? These are the top three most popular funnels. So pretty much for 90% of coaches out there, these funnels, you can plug it into your business and it's going to still work somewhat well, right? But obviously, you just need to know exactly which one to use to maximize the amount of money that you're going to be making with your coaching. So that's basically for this video. Now that I've gone over all of these those top three effective funnels for online coaching and how they work for pretty much 90% of coaches, you're probably thinking that this video is just too good to be true, right? And you're going to go ahead and copy and paste one of these and thinking that it's going to work for your business, right? And to be honest, right, it pretty much is too good to be true, okay? As a coach, your focus should be placed on getting in front of the camera and making content and fulfilling your students and actually building out a good program, right? Or actually have somebody else operating the back end, building out funnels, and basically just doing all of the non-needle pushing tasks. So if you think that you're someone who may need help with implementing the systems of funnels that I've talked about in this video and just scaling your coaching business or overall, you can go ahead and book a free call me down below. I'll order your business, provide you with a scaling plan, and give you an offer at the end if I think I can help you out. Right. But if you don't think we're a good fit, you can simply just take the plan and implement everything yourself. There'll be absolutely no hard feelings there. So go ahead and book that call down below. I really hope this video was helpful. These funnels here, right here, pretty much the top three most popular ones. So yeah, that is it for this video. You can also go ahead and join my free Discord server down below if you want to find out more about what I personally do. Or you can DM me on IG if you have any questions. And yeah, that's it. Peace out.